up, folkers? Snapzilla Gorilla in the van, making my rounds. You know what? There are no people in this world that are going to disappoint you more than family. No one in this world is going to disappoint you more than that. Why? Because they're family, they're blood, and there's supposed to be a level of loyalty there, right? But I tell you, sometimes you gotta leave your family at the wayside, because family can drag you down when push comes to shove, when shit hits the fan. And I was reminded of this very fact yesterday when I was at my family's house for my brother's birthday, and we got to talking about government, politics, and the subject came up, or the question came up, of whether or not we need government in our lives. And it was a mixed, there were some mixed responses, some mixed answers, some of them very disappointing to me. And no matter how much I explained, no matter how much logic I threw at them in regards to why we don't need it, the level of resistance to truth was just, it was too much. It was too much. Like, these people fought very hard to convince me that we need government. Of course, you guys know that I feel like the government is completely unnecessary. As a matter of fact, it's more harmful to the people than it is beneficial. It's just that they've been able to lull us into a state of sleep so deep that we don't even understand the damage that's being accrued. So this is the typical argument. Who's going to build the roads? Who's going to build the bridges? Who's going to maintain it? Who is going to regulate restaurants and this, that, and the third? And all these questions have logical, sensible answers in favor of no government. Let's start with the bridges and the roads. I'm gonna tell you guys the same thing I told them about that. The government didn't come into existence, then all of a sudden people learned through osmosis how to innovate, how to build, how to use their mechanical mind to invent things, how to be inventive. The government didn't spark that in people. As a matter of fact, I'm in construction, okay? I've been working for private contractors for years. Every time the government needs something built, okay, something like a major undertaking, like a bridge, a whole new school, a whole new hospital, they don't use government employees to do that. They hire private contractors to do the work according to code, according to the specifications that they lay out. They don't hire their own people because it's a huge undertaking. You need more people. You need more manpower to get the job done. So what do? The government hires to the lowest bidder. Several private contractors will come out to bid on the job. Okay, they bid on the job, go to the lowest bidder. Okay, not necessarily the best bidder, not necessarily the best person for the job. Okay, so what happens is private contractors come out and build the brand new bridge, build the brand new road, build the brand new school, build the brand new hospital. And then what happens after that is their employees maintain it. Their employees are maintenance people. They're not builders. You understand what I'm saying? Not to say that they can't build, But the government doesn't build things. They hire out to private contractors to build. Just like with the defense programs, right? They hire private defense firms, private defense contractors to do the work. You understand? Northrop Grumman, Boeing, all these organizations, aerospace, these are private contractors hired by the government. They're the innovators. The people, the engineers that work for these people were not given that gift by the government. They obtained it through cognitive ability and through perseverance and in the desire to learn, to innovate, to build. Just like myself, the government didn't grant me the ability to be a hell-of-a electrician. I did that on my own. So when you say you need government to build shit, nah, it's not true. Hold on, y'all. This is probably a robocaller. This is Marcus with ProCal. Hello? Hello? Robocall. Hello? Hello? Yeah. So, the argument that we need the government to build roads, to build hospitals, to build schools for regulation is completely asinine. Because the government agencies that do regulate, say, sanitary conditions for hospitals and restaurants, only do so as far as human ability allows. So what answer do I have for that? Okay, so what about a restaurant? Who's going to regulate the restaurants and make sure it's clean, make sure there ain't rodents and whatnot floating all up and through there? Well, if you want to operate your business within a community that is a voluntary community, which means that anybody that lives in that community and wants to live in that community, anybody that lives in that community and wants to do business in that community has to they participate in the community guidelines, right? They're not regulations, they're not rules, they're not laws. They're guidelines that help make the community run. Which means this: if you want to operate your business in my community, I have a community of 20 or 30 or 40 people, or let's say there's several communities that this restaurant serves. All you have to do is tell this restaurant, look, we want to make sure that we can come in on a moment's notice and ensure that you're operating in sanitary conditions. There's no rats, no rodents. You're keeping things clean. You're cooking things at the right temperature. You're washing dishes at the right temperature. Using the right ratios of bleach and all this other shit. You don't need government. This is common sense stuff. All it takes is common sense. Oh, the government. I don't need the government to tell me that I don't need roaches in my food, man. And so, how well are they doing right now? How many times have people found rats and rodents all up and through KFC? How many health recalls have there been? Right? How many? Didn't several Chipotle restaurants get closed down for nasty stuff, though they're regulated? You explain this to people, and the cognitive dissonance is so deep that they don't. The logic doesn't reach them. Okay, so look, this is what somebody told me. They have health inspectors that go in there into the restaurants and make sure everything is sanitary. Oh, you got to make sure it's sanitary. You need the government for that. You need government regulation on this, that, and the third. I said, okay, if we need the government for that, then why are these restaurants still getting hit with health code violations? Why are people still getting sick when they go to particular restaurants? What was it? What was it? I ate some calamari one time from a high-end restaurant. with a grade A, my nigga. Got sick than a big dog. Now I won't eat calamari no more. You see what I'm saying? In order for this to work the way you want it to work, the government would have to provide a health inspector for each restaurant, and that health inspector would have to sit up and through that restaurant every day. They would have to visit that restaurant every day and make sure all the checklists are being hit. Am I right or am I right? Right. And if not every day, at least once or twice a week. That doesn't happen like that, though. It happens every few months. You know what I'm saying? Unless there's some type of complaint. Why can't we do that same thing as a small community or a group of small communities that operate in concert with each other? You know, one community might have their own set of guidelines. Another one might have a different set of guidelines. And as an individual, you're able to pick and choose which community suits you best. It doesn't have to be complicated. The government does not innovate. The government is not a sentient being that bestows all this grace and all this power on the people. No, people do that on their own. You're granted that gift naturally, either if you believe in God, or by your own, your own brain functioning. The government doesn't help the brain function. No. Schools? I mean, you don't need the government to teach teach the children what you know and what you can, you know what I'm saying? Like my wife, she homeschools the kids. 5 of them. The government didn't grant her the power to homeschool. She took it upon herself. She's helping my children learn. She's helping my children learn what they need to know about the world, about math, about science, about social studies and all that other stuff. We might hire a tutor at some point. Once my wife becomes too overwhelmed in with all this newfangled BS like Common Core, which, I mean, my kids don't never have to learn that. They will never learn that. But the point is that the government does more harm than good to its communities. So everything that we need now, like EPA and all the other stuff, we need that because the government wastes so much and they create so much pollution on their own. You see what I'm saying? Everything the government does consumes in an excessive amount, to an excessive degree. Like these politicians, these elite politicians, these left-wingers, hooping and hollering about pollution all the time, are causing some of the most pollution in the world. All these droughts. Who do you think is using the most water? Golf clubs, you know what I'm saying? Golfing clubs or whatever. Business parks. They had the grass has to look green all the time, 24/7, right? They using the most water. No, that 70% of the water consumed in LA are consumed by businesses. But they'll tax your ass. They'll add a tax to the people that lives in their homes. I don't water my grass. I water the plants and I water the trees very little. My avocado trees still get enough water from the ground, like I talked about. Trees know how to find water in the ground on their own, and they're still fruiting avocados. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm being charged extra for water that I barely even use, for showers, for cooking. Like I said, a couple plants and a couple trees every now and then. But these business parks, these businesses using most of the water, 70%. Are they going to feel that? No, it's a tax write-off for them. I can't write off water. I can't write off water because I'm not using it for business. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the government for you. We get extorted so that businesses can be subsidized and do whatever the hell they want. They can waste whatever they want. They can consume whatever they want. But the government is going to blame us for it. They're going to say, we need to stop eating meat. We need to stop driving cars. Meanwhile, they're flying around in their fancy jets. Flying around all over the world. How many times does a congressman and a senator have to go to Washington, D.C.? Why can't you stay your ass in your state? They fly all over the place. Consuming. But it's us. It's on us. They put it on us. We foot the bill. I don't need the government for that. Nah. I don't need you to act on my behalf in Washington, D.C. I can act on my own behalf and my family's behalf. I don't need you for that. That's just the truth. Yeah, and I served in the military. Yeah, I do get VA benefits, but I put something in to get that. See what I'm saying? I put something in to get that. It's not free shit. So these are the type of things I'm trying to explain to family. You try to explain this type of shit to family. Now, I do have a couple people in my family that are waking up and they're realizing what's really going on. They're realizing that we really don't need government. That we need to be responsible, and we need to be held responsible for our own lives. We need to depend on our own selves to do what we got to do. Our community. You build a community. Your community handles all the responsibilities within that community. Not no outside influence way over there 3,000 miles away. Hell, not even 100 miles away. Not even 20 miles away. Not even 5 miles away. If we built our community, we found this piece of land, we decided to build and live on it and do whatever we have to do. The influence of that community should stay within that community. Because once you start giving power to people outside of your community, whether it be through the Democratic Republic or a constitutional republic, whatever you want to call it, it's all the same shit. Or a democracy, a pure democracy where the majority truly rules. Once you give up the power to 51% of an entire country, of an entire landmass, why? For what? You know how many people live in California and New York? And other big states? They would get whatever they wanted more likely and more often. Meanwhile, the other states have to go by what? No. Pure democracy. No, I'm not rolling. Democratic Republic or representative republic or a constitutional republic. I don't need you to represent me way over there. No, I don't need you making laws on my behalf without consulting with me first to see if that law is gonna crack. No, I don't want you to represent me. So that means if I decide not to vote, I don't want nobody to represent me. I want to represent myself. I want my own I want to be my own representation for myself and my family. But because most of you vote for someone to control us, I then have to be controlled by that person, even though I don't want to be. I don't want that person to represent me. So I don't vote. I don't want any of these people to represent me. I think all politicians are scum. I think they're all out for power. So, because you want someone to have power over you, they have to have power over me because I live in the same district as you. I live in the same state as you. I live in the same country as you. So I have to go by what you want. Oh no. Oh, I should leave the country then? Or if I don't like it, leave? Nah, fuck that. This is my country right here too. I'm staying right here. Free, sovereign, within my own sphere of influence. And that's how we all need to think. You know, my wife, she's right. She rides with your boy. She's like, oh man, we need to go to another country. We need to go to some island or something. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, but you're still going to be under someone's control. It's the same system everywhere. There's nowhere their influence doesn't reach at this point. You know, I mean, Libya had some semblance of sovereignty and freedom. Look what happened there. No, you can't run from it. You can't run from it. This is our country, right here. I'm not gonna leave. I'm not leaving. How about that? I don't like the system that's being used in this country. So, and that's what it is. I ain't leaving. How about that? Anyway, let me holler at y'all later. Much love. Like, share, subscribe, and make sure you like and subscribe and share. Make sure you share this because they're really suppressing my channel. I had 3 people subscribe to my channel all at once. 10 minutes later, 4 people were unsubscribed. So make sure y'all double check. You guys are gonna have to come to my channel and make sure to see if I have videos uploaded because they're not going to share them. They're not going to notify people. They're really cracking down on independent creators on this platform. Well, it's no longer a platform. It's a publishing. It's a publisher. They're curating what is shown and on what level it's shown and all that other stuff. They're controlling all that. They're censoring. So right now, it's not a platform. Okay, it's a publisher. And they're picking and choosing what they publish and how they publish it and how many recommendations I get. I'm small fry. I haven't even reached 1,000 subscribers yet, and they're already doing this to me. So make sure you share. Make sure you help me get this out. Okay? And if you've been unsubscribed from my channel, make sure you subscribe again. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Make sure you double check. Come to my channel. Make sure, I'm gonna try to upload a video every day, and possibly start doing more lives on the weekend, more live presentations where I'm actually showing receipts and going through all that stuff. So, anyway, double check with your boy, and I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.